and this man comes walking out of the barn up to our car, and I like roll down the window on Victoria's
On my side.
side.
She rolls down the window on my side.
Hi,
Hey
everyone!
guys! Welcome back to like the Queens. I genuinely just couldn't say the title of our podcast.
It's
been a long day.
Yeah, you just started your new job. I want to hear about it.
I did. I just started a new contract and it's very fun. It's like an immersive children's experience thing, but we do
That's
work.
Awesome.
Today we had a rehearsal from 10:30 to noon, and then we opened our thing from noon to 8 p.m. So I am quite literally so tired because I've been on my feet and I've been the happy, you know how you have to be with children. The hi.
Yeah.
So my energy has that's what I've been doing for truly 10 hours today. And I'm so happy about it. I love working with children. I love the job. I love to be booked and blessed.
Yeah.
But it's been a long day.
I'm so sorry.
I'm very happy to be filming this podcast because Liz here just told me that she had to tell me stuff right when we got on this call.
We haven't been able to talk like all week because I have been so busy as well. I can't even tell you about like the beginning of the week because it's just a blur at this point of everything that's been going on.
Yeah.
I had a wedding in another state that I just got back from today.
Yeah.
So I've been traveling and I'm still sick, unfortunately. I was like nauseous
sick,
all day. Yep, I was nauseous all day. I can't eat without getting sick. I really don't know what to do. And like Victoria, I just got a contract this week as well. It's starting Friday.
Yes.
In 5 days. And I can't eat. And I can't I'm going to try to sing on Monday with Kevin and Natalie, but like I can't sing, I can't eat. Like I don't know what's wrong with me.
That is very odd. This hit her while we were in California, guys. On the later part of our week after we had our podcast, but
well, I was extremely sick, like literally just days before. And I was like texting Victoria hourly updates if I was still throwing up or not.
This is true. I panicked a bit. I was like, oh my gosh, what if I have to do California on my own?
Yeah, I was very concerned, but like I went and I did it, but I'm unfortunately still very sick. Yeah. But I'm really excited. I read today that with my contract, I'm going to be living on another resort, which I'm really excited about. And this resort has multiple restaurants, shopping. It's huge. There's like a horse farm stuff. There's like an equestrian thing with it. Yeah, and it's with a choreographer who I've literally auditioned for like 4 years now.
Yeah.
I've been dying to work with him. He is amazing, and he messaged me on Facebook, and I'm like, am I going to be working with you? And he's like, yes. So I know I'm going to be dancing again, and I haven't danced since college, and I'm so excited about that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. It sounds like a good time, and
I'm very
we
excited.
love a resort moment. As our podcast listeners are about to find out in this upcoming season.
Yeah, that's one, like, we're going to share our stories. But first, we have to share our lives. And we're still talking about boys. And that is actually what I have to tell you about.
Okay, let's do it then.
I went out on a date with a guy who I really liked. And you know that's hard.
Yes.
And you know that's hard for me to like a guy. Yeah. I am not... I'll kiss strangers and whatnot, but like actually liking someone, I haven't liked someone since Michigan. And I've gone out with, this is now my 7th guy since Michigan, and I haven't liked a single one of them, like enough to kiss them.
Yeah.
So this is a good
thing. This is
a big moment.
Positive sign.
Yes. And let me tell you about him. He is so cool. He is a criminal investigator.
Yes. Okay, I'm like starting to recall the gist of this because I remember seeing on like your story or something that you had a really good date, and I was like, okay.
Oh my gosh.
We love a criminal investigator. murders.
Yes, he goes undercover. He does a lot of alcohol, drugs, sex trafficking. He's doing
Okay.
something with fugitives coming up. He's worked on special victim unit cases before, and I'm like, okay, Law and Order, okay.
Okay. Okay. For sure.
He's really cool. And his dad was a cop in LA during like Rodney King, during
Mm-hmm.
what's his name? Who killed his girlfriend and got away with it.
Like recently?
This was he drove a Bronco. Why can I not think of his name? It's in the murder museum.
It'll come to
Oh
us
my
halfway
gosh.
through this episode.
Our podcast listeners are probably like screaming at us. Out in LA, like in the 90s, Kim Kardashian's dad worked on that case. O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Correct.
His
O.J.
dad
Simpson.
was his dad worked in LA during that time. Like
Okay.
all of that craziness, okay? And so like he stayed at the Cecil Hotel because I was telling him about our time in LA. Like he has
I'm
stayed
jealous.
there. I know, super cool. And like as soon as he sat down for the date, I'm like, I want to hear all about your job. And he's like, I'm sure you do. And just like he's calm, cool, collective, very
Yeah.
different from me. And this is the second guy who the guy in Michigan, he majored in criminology. And so
Okay.
I'm like, do I have a thing for criminologists?
Do you have another thing?
Do I have another thing? But it was really good. The date went very smooth. I hardly know anything about him because we were just talking about so many random things.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, that's a
I
good
don't
thing that conversation just like flowed though.
yeah.
It's a good sign.
Yeah. And he's been texting me ever since. And like right after our date, the next day I found out I got the job and I told him I was like, "Hey, like I know like we were planning another date and like I would still like to go on another date with you and I would like to see you again, but I found out I got this contract and I'm going to be
Yeah.
leaving." And he's like, "I'm so proud of you." Like he was so supportive about it and excited, and we're going out on a second date tomorrow.
Oh, okay. There you go. We love to see
Yep.
it.
And here's the most surprising thing. He's younger than me.
That is shocking. That is
I
really
know.
shocking. But
I know.
I've been seeing this. Okay, I don't know if you guys know this TikTok trend, but it's the one that's like, and he's bigger than me and stronger than me,
Yes!
and he's older than me. And all of them that have been popping up have been like, they're like, say the parts that's your man, and they say that all of them except for the he's older than me, because all of them are dating like younger men. And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't think I'll ever be there, but we'll see.
I think younger men might be the answer.
It seems to be, because that's all I'm seeing all over my For You page.
He respects me, he's kind to me, and like listens to everything I say and like every detail, like about some people might be like, oh, that's creepy, but like he studies like every like detail about me. He's like, your winged eyeliner looked amazing, your makeup is amazing, your nails, I love when the way they looked in that picture. Like he notices every detail and I'm like, oh, okay.
You're like, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I don't like, I asked him, I'm like, what are you looking for? And he's like, well, I'm not like going into anything like looking for a relationship because I don't want to hurt his feelings with like me leaving and stuff like that. Like he knows I'm leaving. And I just like didn't want to like hurt him with that because I'm gonna be gone.
Yeah.
But like I think we're just kind of like we're really enjoying each other's company right now. And he tells me we went on one date and like we've been talking literally 24/7 since that date, and he tells me he's like crazy about me, like how he has a major crush on me and like how he's so excited to see me again, and I'm like, oh my gosh.
That's cute. That's cute.
Yeah.
I love that for you.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Finally a man who appreciates.
Yeah. He dotes on me. He calls me beautiful like 100 times a day. 100 times a day. Like and just compliments me constantly. I'm like, I really don't know what to say. Like, I like your face.
You look good.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do.
Well, I love that, and I hope your date tomorrow goes well.
Thank you.
I'm intrigued about this
Yeah, I was
younger
like,
man.
I'm like, I understand if you don't want to go out again because I'm leaving. And he goes, no, I want to see you again. And I'm like, oh my gosh.
Point blank, period.
Yeah.
We love that.
Yeah. I
We love that.
know.
Well, I
I know.
have a man update. Remember the guy, all right, listeners, Daytona guy, the guy
Yeah.
who I should have probably stopped seeing after he told me he left me on the first night.
Yes,
Um,
Victoria.
so I got back after California,
Oh
and
no.
he was like, "Hey, I see that you're back. Like, you want to hang out again?" And I was like, and I knew that I had this contract coming up that I'm on currently, and I was like, "Listen, I am not gonna have time for like the next 3 weeks. Like, I don't have a free night until December starts." So I was like, "No," I was
Yeah.
like, "I can't do this right now. I'm so sorry." And he was like, "Okay." He was like, "Oh, I'm sad, but like whatever, we'll hang out in December." Then like 2 days later, this man texts me and he's like, "Hey, I just got into a relationship at a concert, so like we can't hook up anymore." And I was like, and I texted him back and like I was literally like, "Okay." I literally said okay with an exclamation point because like what was I supposed to say? He doesn't owe me anything. I don't owe him anything. So I was like,
He
"Okay."
wait. He got in a relationship at a concert?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Like
this
he
is a
told me that
random
and I was like,
girl?
I just like kind of I don't mean to like be mean, but I was like, you got into a relationship at a concert
Like she was
in
drunk.
two
She was
days?
totally drunk.
In 2 days? Because he just messaged me like 2 days prior, like when I got back from Cali, and was like, I want you to come over. And I was like, I was just like, okay, like whatever. Because I don't care. I really he can do what he wants. He's not the only guy that I was seeing anyway. So,
That's okay.
so like I was just like, okay, and he was like, oh, and I was like, what? And he was like, oh, I thought you'd just like be sad, and I was like, no, I'm happy for
Wait,
you.
he was mad that you didn't have a reaction?
I know. I was like, I don't. Was this a test? Because I told you that no feelings were gonna be involved in this, and I have no feelings.
Victoria, that is crazy.
It is kind of crazy. And it's just funny because like the relationship he got into a relationship at a concert, that's funny to me. And like the fact that you're reaching out to me, like you don't owe me that. Don't like
No.
he did not have to do that. And that's my men
Oh
update.
my gosh. Okay, that girl had to totally be drunk. Do you think she's even talked to him? Like, does she know she's in a relationship with this
I don't
man?
know. I wish I could reach out to her and be like, be careful. He's gonna say I love you.
Oh. He already did. They're in a relationship.
This is true. They probably yeah.
Oh my
I don't know. That man's
gosh.
crazy. And then Pasta Guy, everybody from our
We love
previous
Pasta
week long
Guy.
Pasta Guy keeps reaching out to me and he's like, "So you forgot about me already?" And I texted him back and I was like, "I just got back from California." And like I didn't answer his question. I didn't give him anything else. I was like, "I can't deal with you right now."
Oh my
Still, 9 out
gosh.
of 10 guy, the guy who let me record my audition in his apartment is top of the game. He still texts me. We have fluent conversations. He did invite
Oh,
me over, like, when the week I got back, but I said no
yeah.
because time is a thing. But he's
Yeah.
still number one. That's my boy drama. No one I
Oh my
really like,
gosh.
but I'm also not looking for that, so.
Yeah, I'm not either. But then I liked him and want to see him again. And I
Yeah.
never go on second dates with guys. Like, I never.
It's like
This
that's a
isn't a
good thing,
thing.
though. And I hope it goes
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. I mean, the only guy who I went out with, like, consistently and, like, still didn't have a relationship was the guy over summer.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I don't go on second dates with people.
You don't.
This is exciting. But
Crazy.
also, I know. Um, we have to tell them because how long have we been doing this? Not that long.
Not
Because
that
we still
long.
have our story. We still have our stories from like our first day of Wisconsin, so we got time to tell them about the last few days in LA and about the boy stuff that happened there.
Yes, we do.
Because I don't think
Where
I
should we
told
leave
you.
off?
Well, do you remember the guy who I matched with on Bumble who was not a comedian? He like worked on Tiger King, the second thing.
Yes, I do.
He's super hot, 6'5", beautiful.
Yeah, I remember, yeah.
Yes. I was like, I want to see him. Well, I messaged him back when I came back to North Carolina. I was like, I'm just going to say Bob. That's not his name. Bob, you missed your chance. I'm back home, but I'm thinking about coming out there again in January if you want to hang out. And he was like, yeah, okay. And so we got each other's Snapchats and we started Snapchatting.
Okay.
And we both have a podcast with our best friends about dating.
Yes. Yes. Oh, okay. It's all coming back to me.
And I'm like, too bad you didn't make the podcast, but he really is. But we haven't hung out or anything.
Yeah.
But if I go back to LA for at least a little bit in January, I'm gonna hang out with him.
You should. We love that.
Yeah.
Then you guys can talk about each other on your own podcast.
Yeah, we will, totally. He's funny.
Oh
He's funny. But he's a hot boy who knows he's a hot boy.
Yeah. Not
like the nice, beautiful man at the bar that we have to tell them about.
Yeah. Ladies out there, you know what we're talking about. A hot guy who knows they're a hot guy. Mm-hmm. You can't resist them, but
they're the worst.
You just want to roll your eyes whenever you see them.
So Victoria and I, on our last night, full night in LA, we went to Whiskey A Go Go. And they have live bands there. And Victoria and I love live music.
We love
that's our
live
thing.
Music.
They do. And we walked in and there weren't that many cute boys. There were some options and all. But those options kind of left shortly after. But this guy walked in with this other man and he was standing at the bar and I was like, Victoria, I want him.
Immediately.
I want that one.
Immediately Liz was like, Victoria, look over there. He's attractive. And I was like...
I'm like, that's the one I want.
I said, okay, I see it.
Yeah. He, dark, curly, long hair, my thing. He was tall, built, thick man. He has some muscles. Yeah. And he was with a friend, we found out, not a friend. And so I was like, Victoria, we have to talk to him. We have to talk to him. We have to find out more about him. And him and this guy went and sat down at this table. And these other girls came up and started talking to him.
It's true. But I will interrupt Liz. And I was trying to get Liz to go up and talk to this guy for 20 minutes while he was still standing and not being approached by women. But she refused. So then he sat down and then women approached him. And I was like, Liz, those women are there. They're making their move. We got to get in. We got to get in there.
And so Victoria, being the great friend she is.
I was like, Liz, I'm going to go talk to him. And I marched over there and I said, hey there. And this is a story in itself. I was like, hey there, I'm so sorry to interrupt at this moment with you and whoever that is. I was like, I don't know if you've noticed, but me and my friend have been kind of eyeing you. And this man is like, no, I haven't noticed. And I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. And right in that moment, I was like, okay, how did you not notice? I'm pretty sure we've made eye contact
multiple times.
I'm gonna let you have that. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, I was like, my friend over there. I was trying to point to Liz, but there were so many people, and I was like, the redhead. I was like, she thinks she's really attractive. What, is that something? Oh, first I asked him if he was single. I forgot that part. I asked him that the whole beginning, before I even said sorry to interrupt. I was like, are you single? And he was like, yes. And I was like, okay. I can continue on with the rest of my question. Basically, I was like, my friend thinks you're cute. Would you like to talk to her? And this man goes, oh, I'd love to talk to her. And I was like...
And he didn't notice me? Mm-hmm.
And I said, you'd love to talk to this woman you don't know? But you didn't notice us before? Interesting. So then I go over to Liz, and the rest is history.
And so I went over there, and I was like, hey, I'm the redheaded friend. And we started chatting. He was so nice. He's a hot guy. who doesn't know he's a hot guy? And he was a hot guy.
He was very attractive. He was taller than me, which is like already.
Yeah. Like when I hugged him by, I came up to like his shoulder. It was like a nice bear hug. And we were talking for a while, and I found out he works in film and television just like I do. And he is an audio engineer for those kind of things. He's a music man. He makes music. He like does all the stuff for like soundtracks like in TVs and movies. And he's worked on a Steven Spielberg film, which is one of my favorite directors of all time. And so, of course, I'm like fangirling, freaking out because he's worked with one of the people that's on my bucket list of people to work with. And we traded Instagrams and like we talked for a little bit, and we couldn't make time to hang out because we only had one day left, and he works 80 hours a week. That's starving artist life. And so we just like we're still friends on Instagram, and if I go back, we're gonna hang out, and I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, as you should.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was very, very nice. Like, even when I was talking to him, I was like, wow, this man's giving me good energy.
Such good energy.
He was attractive. He's great. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
We may have found a good one. And then,
you all know I had been manifesting to sit next to a cute guy on an airplane.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted that to happen for me. And so Victoria and I got up at like 2:30 in the morning to get on our flight Saturday. And this is like 5-something in the morning. Or like 4, we're getting through security.
Yeah.
And this cute guy is like a couple people behind us, gets in line, and I notice him, and I'm like, oh, he's cute. And there's like multiple different like security stops, and like Victoria and I got separated, but this guy got put into my line right behind me. And I strike up a conversation with him about LA and how he lives in LA, and we talk the whole time through security. And I was like, Victoria, did you notice me talking to this cute boy? And she's like, no. I was like, did you notice this? Did you see this? And you're literally like, it's 4 a.m. No.
I was like, I actually didn't.
And I'm like, Victoria, you always got to keep an eye out for Selena.
It's true. There was no cuties in my line, so, like, I wasn't even paying attention. I was behind this family that did not know how to go through airport security, and I was like, oh my gosh, it's 4 a.m.
We had 2, like, completely different looks going on there. So this guy and I are like, well, it's nice to meet you. Like, okay, bye. But then we kept walking. When I, like, reunited with Victoria, we were walking the same way. And we put our stuff down. And, like, he was walking down the same terminal. Like, his flight was right next to Victoria's. And then I saw him go back up, and there was only one breakfast place left. And I always have to eat first thing in the morning. And I was like, I'm going to go get breakfast. And I saw he was going to the same place. And so I started walking faster to get right behind him. And I got right behind him in the breakfast line. And I'm like, I'm not following you. Like, made a joke out of it, and he's just like, uh-huh. But then we started talking again and chatting, and we were chatting the whole time through this giant breakfast line, and, like, to the point we were talking so much and, like, close to each other that the checkout lady was like, is it just you, when he checked out, like, seeing if we were together, if he was paying for both of us, and he's like, it's just me. And then, we both were at, like, the napkin station, like, grabbing forks and stuff, and, like, our water bottles, like, were on opposite sides, and he had to, like, reach, like, through me to get, like, his water bottle and all, and he's like, okay, well, it's nice to meet you, Elizabeth. I'm like, yeah, you too. And then I went back to Victoria, and I'm like, Victoria, we just chatted again for so long. And I'm like, freaking out about it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do I do? Should I go get his number? And you're like,
obviously, always.
And he walks back, and I'm like, Victoria, there he is. He's right there. Because
this all happened.
Because his flight was right next to hers. And so he's sitting down, opening his laptop, being the businessman that he is. And I walk up to him, and I'm like, hey, if I come out to LA, do you want to hang out? And he goes, yeah, sure, okay. And I'm like, do you have a number? And he's like, yeah. And he gave me his number. And I texted him the next day after we came back. And he never answered me.
Fake.
So fake. So fake. I know. I'm like, we just had the cutest meet cute in the entire world, and he's not going to talk to me.
I'm like, this the airport meeting.
Yeah.
Hallmark movie stuff.
Hallmark movie. Like, that's all I've been manifesting, and he just ruined it.
It's true.
Yeah.
Men
but that
will never learn.
that sums up the boys in LA.
Those are the boys in LA.
The boys in LA.
Isn't that a song? The LA boy. Who sings that?
I don't know.
I'm gonna look it up.
Now we have to add it to our LA playlist. But should we actually talk about Wisconsin now?
LA Boys, it's from the Victorious cast. I just pulled it up. That's why I know it.
Of course.
Thank
you.
We
love Victorious.
Yeah. Okay, so that was our rest of the week in California. It was super fun. We went to all the beaches. We went sightseeing pretty much everywhere. It was great.
We went to Muscle Beach twice.
And it was worth it.
It was so worth it. Oh wait!
Now,
oh my God! Can I tell them about what? Okay, at Muscle Beach, I have a thing for like trying to touch wild birds. Like if there's a bird just hanging out, like I'm gonna try to grab it. Like
I chase the true. I actually chase the ducks.
Yeah, like from Wisconsin to LA, I have chased the birds, and and this homeless man is like dumping out like these like crumbs and all over this area, and all these seagulls come like eating them, and I, like the wild maniac I am, come running out trying to touch as many birds as I can. And they all fly away, and the homeless man looks at me and goes, "You just scared away my birds." And I have never felt more horrible in my life. I took away that man's only joy.
It's true. We walked away and Liz was like, "Oh my gosh, Victoria, I just scared away these birds." Oh my gosh.
Of course that would happen. And he's homeless and doesn't get much food, and he shared it with the birds, and I scared them away. I'm a horrible person.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, I did forget about that, but how can I forget?
I will never forget about that.
That's funny.
That is the number one reason I'm going to hell.
But Liz has been chasing birds since the day I met her, so.
In Wisconsin.
Speaking of the day me and Liz met, so much happened. So much happened. That wasn't just her chasing the birds and wreaking havoc in this paradise that we were in over the summer.
Yeah. So,
So the first day, let's get right into it. This is the official start of our season 2. Welcome to our Wisconsin stories.
Our Wisconsin summer. Victoria got there a couple hours before I did.
I was there. I think I got there at like 4:00. So
yeah, she was all settled in.
Yeah, I was the first one to show up to the resort, and I was like unpacked and everything. I had time to get my life together before even Liz came in the hotel.
And I came in with a billion things like a tornado.
Like a tornado. Okay, guys, we already have to pause because Liz told me like halfway through the summer that she gets compared to a tornado, and ever since she said that, it's so true. And like you'll never know unless you like are with her and like stay with her. But it's so true. She truly is a tornado. Like it's so bad. Just so much going on. But I love it, and there's no better accurate word than tornado.
Thank you.
You guys picture it.
Just like imagine a crazy curly-haired redheaded person busting through the door, carrying a million different things in her hands, throwing it on the bed, throwing her suitcases everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I see Victoria, and she's standing there with all of her food organized.
It's true. I like sectioned off everything. I had like everything in size order.
All clean and perfect. And you're standing there like, "Hey," and I'm like, "Hey."
She was like, let's hug, finally. She deceived me. She fooled me. The first day, she was so excited to hug me. And little did I know that was my last hug.
Ever. The one and only. And so, yeah, that was our embrace. And then we chilled in the room until we had our meeting, whatnot, with Joe. We were dying. What were we dying laughing over with Joe? Like, upstairs, remember? There was something that was, like,
that was really
cracking
funny.
us
I do
up.
remember. I don't know what it was, but...
Me either, but we just always die laughing.
Yeah, we did. And the other girls were like, okay. And we were like...
I know, poor Madison and Francesca, they were like, what is wrong with them?
Yeah. But that's how we knew. That's how we knew.
That's how we knew. Chaotic energy, always.
Yeah. My favorite part about that night is that we got back to the room after that, and Liz still had to pack, because you got there, like, 20 minutes before the meeting started. So, like, she didn't get any time to just, like, sit down. So she was, like, she got all her stuff off, and then she had to, like, we had to go up to our meeting.
Yeah. So
when we came back from the meeting, she still had to unpack everything. And I was, like, in bed, like, ready to go to bed. I, like, was in my pajamas. I pulled up the blanket. I was like, all right. And while she had the suitcase open, and she's, like, still trying to unpack. And I was like, all right, good night. She was like, oh, you go to bed early. And I was like, I guess.
And I stay up extremely late.
It's true.
Extremely late. But the next day, I don't know where you were, but I was, like, wanting to explore the town automatically, because I have to leave. I have to run. I have to find something. And I was like, Victoria, there's a coffee shop that's, like, 10 minutes from here. I was like, do you want to go? And she's like, yeah. And we texted the other girls to see if they wanted to go with us. And no, but it was just us two. It was just us two. And so we drove, like, 10, 15 minutes, and we didn't see a coffee shop anywhere.
No. There was no coffee shop in sight.
No. We saw a house and, like, a barn, and I'm like, Victoria, do you think maybe the coffee shop is in this barn? Should we turn around and go back to it?
And I was like, yeah, 100%. Because, like, this little backstory, we're in the middle of nowhere over the summer. Yeah. Like, this resort is in the back of the back roads. It's truly the only thing on the road. Like she said, we had to drive 15 minutes to find a coffee shop.
Yeah.
But, like, it's abandoned. So, like, the possibility of this little barn-looking house being a coffee shop in our minds at the moment was very high.
It made sense where we were. It
made sense.
Mm-hmm.
So, I was like,
and so
let's turn around and go back there.
I pulled down the road. We were in my car, and, like, I'm like, okay, this is definitely not a coffee shop. There's nothing that says, like, open or anything. So I start, like, turning the car around in the driveway, and this man comes walking out of the barn up to our car, and I, like, roll down the window on Victoria's side.
She rolls down the window on my side. Continue.
Oh my god. I roll down the window on her side. Oh my god, we didn't tell them about getting into my car. We'll go back and say that after this.
Yeah, we'll go back. We're on the man.
We're on the man. And
came out of the house as we were trying to leave.
He starts lifting up his shirt. And he's saying, while he's doing this, lifting up his shirt, going, are you girls trying to get shot? And I'm thinking this man's pulling a gun out on us. And I'm like, oh my gosh, no, we're so sorry. We thought there was a coffee shop here in Victoria. This man leans into the window. It's like practically
truly diving into the window. Like you know when you go through those drive-through safaris and you see those videos of, like, the animals sticking their whole face in the window and the kids are like, ah. Yeah, that was me. That was truly
and
me.
The man.
This man was like, what are you doing out here? Want to get shot? And as he's, like, lifting up his shirt and
his shirt, he's pulling a gun out. This man is totally pulling a gun out, and we are going to die. And Victoria's, like, leaning up against, like, the seat.
I'm, like,
up against
on
me.
top of Liz because, like, I don't want this man anywhere near me. And then
Yep.
Liz is like, oh, haha, we're just looking for a coffee shop. And he was like, oh man, that coffee shop hasn't been around here for years. It's
Like 10
gone.
years.
And then he proceeded to say that he was like, cars drive up here all the time thinking this is a coffee shop. And we're like, interesting. Interesting
That's
how
kind
you
of
haven't
alarming.
changed that. So,
And
yeah.
so,
And then as we were
but
like, okay, we're gonna go, he was like, well, you ladies can come on in and I'll make you a cup of coffee here. And we were like, no.
nope. Thank you so much for the offer, but it's a no for me. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so we zoomed out of there, and we were dying.
This was so
dying
funny
laughing.
to us. Like, did we think we were gonna die? Yes.
Yeah.
Did we laugh the whole 15 minutes back to the resort? Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
It was so funny. I was like, it was truly, like, this is 24 hours in. Like, less than 24 hours in.
Not even. We haven't been friends for 24 hours, and we almost died together.
Correct. We didn't get coffee that day.
No. We got a story that we will remember for the rest of our lives.
It's true.
But also, I didn't realize, so we have to go back and tell them about getting into my car. I didn't realize, I forgot I did this. I don't know how I forgot this happened. So, like, you have to tell this story because I don't even remember doing this. But so I
this
do
is
say
before, this is, Liz comes in, she's like, you want to go get coffee? I'm like, yeah. So we go out and she's like, oh, I'll drive. And I was like, okay, great. So she like unlocks her car and I go to pull on the passenger door and I like open the door and there is a Twizzler in the seat. And I get it. We both drove very long hours to get to Wisconsin. Like, we need car snacks.
And I use Twizzlers as a microphone while I'm driving.
Exactly. We're performers. What do you expect? So I was like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't want to throw it on the ground, but I didn't really know what to say.
Want me to eat it?
And I was like, there's a Twizzler. And Liz literally goes, she's like, oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. I'm really embarrassed about that. I'm really embarrassed. And then she picks up the Twizzler and she throws it in her backseat. She actually didn't throw it away. She in a backseat, and I was like, all right, I mean, fair enough. And I was like, okay. Like, me and Liz, this is like before we've had like an intelligible conversation because that night we were just like doing the like getting to know each other conversations. And then in the morning I was up and at him. I was gone out of the room.
She was gone. So, I didn't see you.
Yeah, she said, "Do you want to get coffee?" I said, "Yeah."
So we had not had any conversation.
She was like, "Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed.
I'm so embarrassed. Oh my God." Because I do that as a joke from that TikTok, and then I don't remember doing that to you. And why would I toss the Twizzler in my backseat? Like, what was my thinking? I blacked out.
I think you were nervous
over my Twizzler.
I don't know, but I loved that moment. I didn't judge her at all because I knew the video she was referencing at that moment.
Thank God.
I understood what she was doing. I was just like, wow.
This is a true weirdo.
So, truly, less than 24 hours in Wisconsin.
I didn't know about that because I just didn't remember doing that. I have a really bad memory. And, Victoria brought it up, months later. And she's like, remember when you're like, oh, my God, I'm so embarrassed over the Twizzler? And I'm like, what are you talking about?
And we died laughing as I retold this story. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that was the beginning of all the shenanigans.
That's what started it all.
Yeah,
we thought we were facing death less than 24 hours in Wisconsin.
Yep.
How'd your friendship start?
Yeah, did you survive a crazy gunman like us? I didn't think so. True friendship is surviving a murderer.
Literally, he was sticking his head in the car. His whole head was
a giraffe.
He truly was a giraffe. Like, guys, you have to picture it. It wasn't my ideal situation. It wasn't our ideal situation.
No. No, I thought we were dying. But I also think that's what broke the ice with our friendship truly was that we both thought we were dying.
Literally,
by a crazy
I thought
man.
I was going to get shot.
Me too.
So I was like, oh.
And then we went to rehearsal right after that, and we were like, "Hey, y'all, let us tell you what just happened."
We were like, we just almost got shot.
And Joe was like, "What?"
Yeah, he was like,
"What
what's
are you
going
doing?" Oh my gosh, I don't know if you saw, but I posted something about promoting this episode not too long ago.
Yeah.
And how we bonded over almost dying. And I put the quote, "Are you girls trying to get shot?" And I put how wrong directions ended up being one of the scariest moments of our friendship. It happened to be the beginning of our friendship. All the details this Wednesday. And Joe liked it.
I love
He
that.
saw it. I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
But this is just the beginning of our crazy friendship.
That was our like 18 hours.
Day one. We haven't even pulled out the journals yet, guys.
Yeah, it's right here. I've been catching up.
I've been catching up too. I still have the last part of LA to write.
Yeah.
You finished LA?
Oh, I finished LA, yeah.
I still have the last part to write.
Nice.
But yeah. So stay tuned for season 2, guys, because that was nothing compared to what we did the rest of the summer.
With some of our bar nights, we need to actually like read our journal entries.
Absolutely.
Like both of them from our perspectives. Like that's what we're gonna do for this season.
I agree.
Yeah. Well, I think we should wrap it up because we've been talking for a long time.
We've just been 40 minutes, so we're good. Okay.
And I'm dying.
Yeah, I'm tired. So.
You need to go to bed.
I do. Okay, guys. Thanks for tuning in for season 2.
This has been fun.
Of Like the Queens.
Season 2, baby.
Season 2. Thanks for sticking around for this long.
Yeah.
New. I don't really know what I'm trying to say here, actually. I don't want to cut that. I like had a thought in my mind, and then I was gonna say it, and then I don't know what I say.
No, that's funny. Keep it.
Yeah, guys, I'm tired. So thanks for watching this episode or listening. Like it, rate us,
review, subscribe. Yeah, all the things.
Yeah, just support us because we support all of you guys, and that's what matters.
That's true love. All right.
And with that being said,
I'm Elizabeth.
And I'm Victoria. Like the Queens.